find us on here. Good morning. A nice, sunny, very chilly morning.
Say sunny but chilly.
It's cold. It's kind of cold in this room.
I guess it's December. That's because there's all these windows and
Nobody lives there.
Right. Yes.
But
Okay. So welcome. So today we're going to talk about, because it's December, I guess.
It is December.
We're going to talk about this month's free pattern. And our free pattern this month is...
Oh wow, my hair's still like this.
She's loving it.
I'm a mess today, guys.
I made her get up early, or leave her house earlier than planned, because...
Excuse my appearance.
She was saving me. Although I look like that normally, so whatever.
Whew. I was like, wait, I was going to do something with my hair.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh well. Sorry.
You've seen us worse. Let's be honest. Whew, it's not my best morning.
Okay, so it's December. We're going to have a free pattern in our newsletter,
which I will send out in a few days. So this month's free pattern is going to be our checkerboard.
Which you can see right down.
You can see right here. This pattern is written to use 3 half yards for the top and the binding, and then I put in 3/4 to a yard for the back, depending on if you're long arming it or going to do it on your domestic machine.
Right.
On this pattern, you'll notice on one end I have stars, and on the other end I have flying geese. You can choose to do stars on both sides, or flying geese on both sides, or a solid strip of fabric if you hate both. I mean, really, it's up to you. One of the girls, we had this as one of our projects at our retreat, and one of the girls just made the square with the border and was like, I like it as a square. And that was great too. Right. So there's a lot of fun options with this. So like I said, 3 half yards.
We have some kits available now.
So we have kits in the shop that are labeled as miscellaneous. There are some of the ones we had from our retreat, and this is one of them. This was one of them. So if you're trying to shop online, they're going to be hard to find because they're all just miscellaneous because everything's reassembled for our retreat. But I did assemble some of the version we're going to talk about today because I needed a Christmas hollyberry version because I do. So when you're picking fabrics for a checkerboard, what you really need is a light and a dark for your board, okay?
Right.
Usually if it's just, I'm not going to say one of them has to be white or anything, but they need to be high contrast.
High contrast. I mean, think about it. Chessboards are usually white and black. Checkerboards are often red and black. Or there are a lot of variations. But you need to not have 2 blues.
Yeah.
Unless you did a really light blue and a really dark.
I was going to mention, the kits also come with wooden checkers. So these are nice. These aren't plastic. These are wood. They're really nice. So they come in the kits. Okay, so for my 2 high contrast prints, so when you get the pattern, and you'll get it in your email, there's the 2 high contrast prints for the board, and then they also get used in the accents on the outside. Mm-hmm. And then the 3rd print makes that initial outer border, kind of just framing your checkerboard, and it's your binding. Okay, so that can be whatever. In this case, I'm using a red print and a white print for my checkerboard, and my border and binding are going to be this really pretty green because Liz loves green, and then that's a hair. This is my back. So that's what's going to come in the hollyberry kit as assembled today, unless we run out and make more.
Which could happen.
I never know. Sometimes you guys just sell me out of stuff really fast some days.
Right?
So Liz doesn't believe in cutting 1,000,000 2.5 squares if she doesn't have to.
Right. It takes time. Plus, it dulls your blade. You cut too much.
Yeah, it's just time consuming. Anyway, so this pattern is written using strip piecing. And it needs exactly 32 squares of each color.
Which is
awesome because if you do quilt math as often as Jen and I do quilt math.
We talked about this morning with
another
way
pattern. Yes. You will know that out of a 2.5 inch with the fabric strip, you can guarantee yourself 16 2.5 inch squares. And since I need 32 of each color, I need exactly 2 strips of each color. Now this can be done with fat quarters. You're just going to have to
do more strips.
Do more and then get a different fat quarter for your accent pieces.
Right.
Okay. So when we're doing strip piecing, sorry, I was going to get these out. Anyway, I was holding them for another reason. You just sew your 2 strips together. Okay.
Right.
So we sew one of each strip to each other. Now you can go way past this and sew all 4 strips together and then cut it down. We're just going to do 2 at a time because that's how I wrote it in the pattern.
Right.
But if you're a strip piecing aficionado, you don't have to do that.
Right.
then you don't have to, because I'm pretending I'm on a cooking show today.
Right?
Liz has already done this. Okay, with the other set of strips. But you do need to do it with both sets, but we're not going to assemble this whole thing today because y'all don't want to watch that. I need you to take that out of my way. So, when you sew 2 big long strips together, and if you've done a jelly roll quilt ever, you will know that they're not all the same length.
And this is normal within the industry. When they tell you to expect between 42 and 44, sometimes 45 with the fabric, it's because they're not all the same. And that's normal. It's
Even
okay.
within a line, within a manufacturer, this is normal. Don't worry, because that's why we only count. Actually, if you really tried, you could get 17 squares,
which
generally out of with the fabric. But we don't like to.
I don't want
to
guarantee
every tiny bit. So I can guarantee you can get 16. I can't
17 is most likely, but we're never going to write that into a pattern.
Yes,
because sometimes things are shorter, especially when you get into things like flannel is often a bit
more like a 42.
It's more on the 42 side. So, okay, most of us who do a lot of quilty math won't account for that.
Oh, I need a rotary cutter.
That being said, when I'm being really miserly with my fabric, I do get
which I can.
I'll cut 17 out of it.
Okay.
But for this, I don't need it, because what am I going to do with the 1 extra square?
So we're going to go ahead, and once because these are 2.5-inch strips, so if you've got leftover jelly roll strips, this works well too.
Okay? Right, because how often do you do something and it takes 36 strips?
And you've still got, and
you still have, the white
have all the
whites
left, because I use the white as a background, so I have white, I don't know how many white charm squares and fat quarters and layer cake squares I have left. So if you have white jelly roll strips left, you only need 2 of them. It'll work. Right. Okay, but when you sew your 2.5-inch strips together, it's going to equal 4.5 inches. This is my 4.5-inch ruler, and I'm pretty darn accurate. What I did here, though, is I pressed to the red, because I'm doing a red and white. Y'all know I like to press open. But in this case, I'm going to show you how you can press one direction and still end up really flat. And so this is a bonus for, this next step's not included in the pattern because it's hard to explain on one page.
And it's really handy for the obsessive compulsive quilters like us.
And the rest of you don't care.
Which is
if you're
also
not
obsessive compulsive, you probably have an easier quilty life than I do.
Once again, we cut off the selvage because it's not fabric.
Selvage isn't fabric. It just isn't.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. What you would do is you take this strip and cut it down into 2.5-inch.
And what she's going to do is
2.5-inch squares.
She's not so much lining it up with the top and the bottom because your seam may not be perfect. What she's going to do is line it up at 2 1/4. She wants that
2.5.
No, 2 1/4 right here.
Okay, yes, that's what I mean. Okay, so it's 2.5 inches wide. I've got my 4.5-inch ruler. I want to make sure my center line, so the 2 1/4 line, is on my seam.
You want it nice and straight.
And straight across.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how we get them perfect. Not that I'm ever perfect, but we're going to pretend.
But where we talk about matching what matters, that's what matters.
That horizontal line is the primary thing.
And you want that straight. And every now and then you might find yourself needing to straighten up the left side of it.
Yeah, when you're doing...
Go ahead and do that with strip piecing.
Same reason we don't want to get more than the set of 16 out of it.
Right.
It's like when you're cutting, you've got a whole yard of fabric and you've got to cut 1,000,000 2.5-inch strips. At some point you have to turn it around and square it up again because you can get
a little bit off over and over, adjust.
Okay, so because we pressed one direction, these nest perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move my ironing back over here. I'm going to let Jen show you that.
We're going to go ahead. What we talk about with nesting is this seam is pressed this way. So I've got a little hump on this side. Mm-hmm. And then I've got a little hump on this side. So I just use my fingers and push them together until they meet. And that way I can get them all squared up.
You can pin this, but when you've nested, it kind of makes it easier to skip this.
So this is where we talk about matching what matters. That's what matters. It's not the top and the bottom. It's that spot there in the middle.
Yep, exactly.
So that's what we're going to match.
So this is called the, I think it's just a checkerboard kit. This is the Holly Berry version. There are the assorted versions in the shop. Sorry, they're hard to shop online because we assembled them assorted for the retreat. There's only a few of them left though.
Right, I think there's 4.
So it's.
But if you want to make your own kit, it's
half yard. 3 half yards and then a back.
All right, so I did a 1/4-inch seam here, and Liz is going to show you. We're not just going to press to the side.
Now we come down to where Liz gets. Okay. Guys, y'all know I'm a compulsive open presser because I like things as flat as humanly possible. And I quilt so densely that I don't feel like it matters because I'm a dense quilter too. Anyway, but in this case, it's always a lot faster to press to the side, right, than to press it open.
It is.
And then in this case, we can nest and get things perfect. Well, my beef with 4 patches is that now, I mean, I've got these pressed to one side perfectly, but now I have to press it to one side or the other. And so then I end up with a bulky section.
Right in the
center. And then it's not flat, and then I'm irritated.
And with it being a game board, it's really nice for it to be as flat as possible
because it's a game board. So, Jen and I did a pinwheel video once upon a time. We should probably do one again.
We should do one again.
I think it was while we were closed back in March. It was a long time ago.
Right.
But we talked about spinning seams and on a pinwheel, and that's how you get the center of a pinwheel flat when there's all of those fabrics intersecting.
In the middle.
So I spin my 4 patches, you guys, because I'm this anal.
I'm not sure it's really a thing. I think it might just be something Liz does.
Oh, somebody else at the retreat did it without me. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm not the only person this is. I seriously, guys, when I pieced this months ago, I sent Jen and Sarita a picture of the back of it because I was so proud of how the back of it looked.
And it was pretty. It was pretty.
And yeah,
maybe
I might have to find it and post it for you guys so you can see what it was. Because I am that big of a nerd.
Right.
Dina will get you taken care of. Okay. So, guys, when we spin seams, all we have to do is finger loosen those last couple stitches right there in the middle. And then all of a sudden we see our little 4 patch. I know this is hard to see from all the way back there. Right here, and it opens up, and I can go half one way, half the other. And then I have no extra bulk anywhere, you guys. It ends up all completely spread out. And I'm going to make Django show this to you close up on the camera.
Yep.
So you can see what it looks like. But what it does, and guys, if you guys iron bright colored fabric and it gets darker when it's hot, that's normal.
Yes, that's also normal.
I've had people who are,
why is my red dark?
Yeah. It got darker. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
So there's the front.
So there's the front. You got a nice 4 patch where it nests really well, so it matches perfectly. Then we flip it over, and we've got a 4 patch on the back. Now, the way that this varies from spinning a pinwheel is when you spin a pinwheel, you always go to the same color. The way that you're going to be able to spin the pinwheel at the end is, in this case, I would be continually pressing to the red the way we did the first time. However, for this to be able to spin the 4 patch, we are having to alternate which way we pin. So if I were to show you up close what she did is you just kind of gently push these down and you pull out. You can see the little tiny threads right here that she pulled out. This isn't really going to weaken your product. Like we said, we like to use really short seams.
And when we press it, it firms things into place really nice.
It does. And then it's going to be quilted. So I am not at all worried about this falling apart.
So you're not unpicking or anything like that. Seriously, guys, you use your fingers and just twist a little bit, and it'll loosen those like two stitches. And then you can press your seam perfectly flat. And in the end, you have a game board that's like, seriously, I'm going to post a picture after this. I got to find it because I am that big of a nerd, and it was awesome. And then you can get it perfectly flat, and I love that because I am that anal. I understand most of you are not, and that's probably really good for you because I am this like this. But that's how we get a perfect flat 4 patch, and then we just sew all of our 4 patches together, and it's checkerboard. Seriously, guys, this is not tricky. But it's fun, and this is a quick gift, you guys. You can make it quickly. It's small enough to quilt on your domestic machine without a hassle.
Definitely.
It's a way to use scraps of batting even. And like I said, our kits come with the nice wooden checkers.
We also have extra sets of checkers.
We have extra sets of checkers if you just shop those. And on top of that I was going to say something. If you get the kit, there's a yard of background in there, of backing, and so you'll have some left over at the end, and then you can make a little pouch for your checkers if you feel so inclined. I meant to write that into the pattern and never did because I don't really make bags. So
I know, she makes me make bags.
I didn't make instructions for making a bag because I kind of hate making bags. Anyway, so this is this month's free pattern. What did we name it?
Zing zwang.
Yeah, anyway. It's zig zwang checkers. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and Google it. We asked everybody at the retreat if anybody knew what it was.
I offered a prize.
And offered a prize. Nobody did, except for Mom. Mom knew what it was, and it was because she learned the word on Criminal Minds. Anyway.
It was the title of the Criminal Minds episode.
Yeah, anyway. I was like, way to go, Mom. Anyway.
That's awesome.
In case anyone wonders where we get our, like, crime show fix from,
that would
have
be Mom.
it would be our mother. Dad watched, like, Star Trek. So, anyway. But this is this month's free pattern. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, do it.
Get subscribed.
And
it'll probably come out this weekend.
Probably.
Maybe like Sunday-ish.
Yeah, I will probably get it done on Sunday because that's when I will actually be home. And my husband's I only have one, thank heavens.
Just one.
And he'll actually be home to keep the kids out of my hair for half a minute so I can do it.
And you'll deserve to have the kids out of your hair.
Right.
For half a minute.
Okay, so that's our plan. Look for it. You can you'll be able to download the pattern. We have kits in the store, like I said. And
or you can,
the kit itself makes a good gift too. So we've got lots of fun new gifty stuff though.
Oh, we got tons of
puzzles back in stock. So Lori Holt Prim and Be Happy puzzles are in stock. We got
and
more
so
Thimble
is more
Blossoms
Thimble Blossoms puzzles. We've got several more of these. These are really fun for your quilty friends.
Yes.
They're like $10, but that's what my rotary blade. I also keep a couple pairs of scissors and a small ruler in there.
Other fun gift. We even got Lori Holt gift bags, you guys.
Right.
We're all set for gifts for your quilty friends.
Right.
Lots of fun things.
Or for your,
or to send
your husband or your kids in. We have a whole gift section now, and we have gift cards available. And we're happy to help husbands shop.
And we've had husbands coming in lately with their wife's list. And we're happy to direct them as needed to. So,
right. Or you can send us an email and say, hey, this is what I want. And we'll put a note on your account.
Yeah.
So when they come shopping, we know.
We know what you want. So, anyway, we got you covered.
Right.
Anyway, and I clearly forgot to silence my phone.
Yeah, me too. So sorry about that, guys.
We're both getting the same Costa Vida notification, I assume.
That's awesome. Lunch.
Anyway, yeah, right? We're spending lunch for today.
I haven't had breakfast yet.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, you guys. It was quick and it was fun, and this is going to be super cute. I'll post a picture of it when I get it done.
Right.
And yeah, we'll see y'all later.
Next time.
Yep. Bye-bye.